Good morning, guys. Welcome to Tuesday's FRT Gold live video. Hope you're all doing well and that Monday was kind to you and that you can now have a good week. Really good week of racing coming up. Of course, today there's a decent day of action, but the main focus this week is all about the Ebor Festival from York. 4 days of top quality action and with record prize money this year. Some superb fields, some of the very best horses around in action. Going to be an absolute cracker, no doubt about that. So just on the build up to York, if you've got any questions, please do feel free to either join in the Q&A session on this video, or you can get in touch via email. It's joe@freeracingtips.co.uk. You can get in touch via Twitter as well @freeracingtips7, and it's facebook.com/groups/FRT Gold. So if you have any questions about any of today's tips or anything with regards to the Ebor Festival or just a general horse racing query, please do feel free to get in touch. So we will look at some of the big races from York a little bit later on in the video. Before that, we're going to take a little look at how we got on yesterday and go through today's tips as well. So yesterday, the only thing really to shout about was the 7-4 next best bet winner, which wasn't really a day saver because the odds weren't good enough because the other tips didn't really do the business, but it certainly didn't put a big dent into the bank. And on what's been a really good 10 days or so for us, we've only had a couple, I think 2 or 3 Ks that haven't delivered profit, and some really good profit as well. So a bit frustrating, but I think we're in decent enough form and ready to bounce back from that today. So today we race from Yarmouth and Brighton this afternoon. Then it's at Leicester and Worcester this evening. Worcester hosting a summer jumps card. Not one that we're going at in terms of from a tipping point of view, but there might be a few horses there to keep an eye on. But we'll look ahead to start with, and we'll take a look at the premium tip for today. That goes in the 7:30 at Leicester, and it's shades. Sorry, in the 7:30 at Leicester, and it's Shades of Silver, currently being offered around the 15-8 mark. Now, this horse won comfortably in Nottingham last time out, actually, and that was an apprentice race on that day. So the horse comes here off the same mark. You don't get penalised for, or you don't have to carry a penalty for winning an apprentice race, which is always good. And I think horses that do win apprentice race and are well supported next time out are usually good things. I think off that same mark should be really tough to beat here, should say Shades of Silver. William Twiston Davis is the man booked on board, which I think is a positive jockey booking as well. Looks to have an excellent chance. I think will be suited by conditions and the trip today. And as I say, running off that same mark, I think the horse is a step. You can't say a step ahead of the handicapper in a way, because it's not as if the handicapper's missed a trick or anything. It just might have been a smart move from Connections to go in an apprentice race and then maybe take a chance in what is a better race here. But running off the same mark, I think has an excellent chance. So that's the premium tip today. Do have to wait a little while for it to run. It goes in the 7:30 at Leicester. That gives you plenty of time to get your bet on Shades of Silver at 15-8. The next best bet for today, that goes in the 5:20 at Leicester. And I went with some real value here. It was Piccadillo and that was at 11-2 when first tipped this morning. Now best price is at 9-2. This horse has 3 runs so far, and I think has been showing some plenty of promise actually. Especially when a close wins or a couple of starts going, and if it's in similar mood to that, I think the horse has every chance here. Was outclassed in much better company at Goodwood last time out. You can forgive that run, and the experience, if anything, might just suit the horse, and again an improvement. Trip and conditions look to be ideal today. As I said, an improvement is expected, I think, from Piccadillo, and I think has an excellent chance today. That's currently, as I said, at 9-2, but hopefully you did get that 11-2 that was around earlier, but being well supported, which is good. But in a competitive race, I think this horse could be the class and the one with the most improvement expected. So that's in the 5:20 at Leicester for the next best bet of the day. The little earner for today, that goes in the 2:45 at Brighton, and it's encapsulated currently at 10-1. Now, this horse has been coming down in the handicap, and that's because of some poor runs, but is now actually a pound lower than last winning mark, and I think has an excellent chance to go in and maybe then take a rise in the weights again. But I think does look to have a really good chance today. In truth, it's a pretty weak race and not one you're going to get too excited about, but sometimes those bad races can throw up a lot more than the Group 1s can for you. I think sometimes you can really pick at some horses, and there's bones to pick in a lot of these. And I think starting with the value is the way to go. I think a lot of these have plenty to prove, and this horse has proven that it can. They can do the business and offer £1 higher mark. I know that's not too much difference, but does look to be well suited today, and I think just has a really good chance of running in the places. There's only 8 runners, so we don't want any non-runners in this, because it is at the moment 3 places and a fifth of the odds, but if there is a non-runner, it will go down to 2 places for each way betting. But I do think Encapsulate has a good chance of winning it, and hopefully can do the business there for us today, and that being the first tip of the day, it could get us off to an absolute flyer and guarantee some profit. The Little Earners have been in good form recently, no doubt about that, and I think that Encapsulate, as I say, does have a really good chance today. Right, we've got one point win only single for today as well. That goes in the 3:45 at Brighton. Mambo Rhythm at 11-4. That's been backed in from 3-1. If you did want to do a lucky 15, then you've got the 4 horses there: the premium tip, next best bet, Little Earner, and a lucky 15. Might even, with the sort of a 9-2 and a 10-1 shot, it might be a lucky 15 that you want to have a go at each way. Because I don't think our selections have been finishing far away at the moment, and it might be one that you want to do each way, but just depends what value you can get with a bookmaker. And if it does go, if you are looking at maybe 8-1 and 4 or 3-1 for the Little Earner and the next best bet, you might just want to go win only, but that's your call. But recommended is 3 points premium tip, 2 points next best bet, 1 each way for the Little Earner, so 2 in total, and 1 point single, of course, on that 1 point single. But yeah, if you did want to do a lucky 15, please do feel free. It's not technically recommended in the stakes, and I think since we've been doing that, we have seen some improvement in profit. It's been a really good month so far for us. I think pretty much all tips are showing profit for the month, and hopefully we can have this final week end that on a high, or the final sort of 10 days of the month or so. So tomorrow it is the one of the biggest and the best festivals of the year, I think, actually, the Ebor Festival from York. The Ebor, then you've got the St Leger, and then British Champions Day. There's not too many more of these big meetings to enjoy this year, so I really do enjoy this one. I think it's going to be a cracker. As I say, record prize money and some excellent fields. We've got a Group 1 in the shape of the Juddmonte International tomorrow. Now, all the rage is, of course, about Australia, the Derby winner, dual Derby winner, although that Irish Derby was a bit of a canter for the Ballydor horses. But anyway, the Juddmonte International, you have Australia, who still I don't think is completely certain to run. I think Aidan O'Brien has had a few statements saying that he's not 100% convinced by the horse's fitness, and that would be a real concern if I was an Australia backer. And I have to say that at 8-13, I can't touch Australia at that kind of price if I'm going to have a bet in the race. I think you've got the likes of Telescope at 5-1, Muckadrum at 6-1, and there's 12-1 bar with horses such as the Grey Gatsby in there. And I do think that Telescope could be a decent bit of value here. I think this is a horse with bags of quality. On figures, there's not much between this horse and Australia. He's going to have Ryan Moore on board. He's absolutely flying at the moment and just makes so much more appeal at nearly like 10 to the odds or something like that. I couldn't be touching Australia at that price, especially when you're not certain if it's going to run. Wouldn't be surprised to see, you never know, you might get that card drift that you did of Australia for the Derby with a few concerns on the layers coming out. But yeah, I couldn't touch Australia at 8-13. Who knows if this will run it? If it doesn't, then you're going to have, I would imagine it'll be Telescope at sort of about 6-4, Muckadrum 2-1, then about 5 to par, something like that. That's my guess at the market. I might be completely wrong there, but yeah, if I were to have a bet in the Juddmonte International, I would side with Telescope there. Also tomorrow you have the Great Voltigeur, and it's Kingston Hill at 6-4 is your favourite here, and I think that could be a decent bet, to be honest. I think that Kingston Hill might just be the quality in this race. I don't think you want the ground to firm up too much. If it's a good surface, I think that would be just about ideal, which I believe that's what it is at York at the moment. Also, if you fancy an each way bet, maybe a 15-2 shot on Hartnell could be a decent one there. And the other race taking place tomorrow is the Acom Stakes as well. But that's just a brief look at what's taking place from York tomorrow. It's going to be an absolute cracker. Of course, there's a few little thoughts with the likes of Telescope, Kingston Hill and Hartnell that I quite like having a little at the moment. But today I'll be doing the big race preview, free racing tips, .co.uk/categories/big-races. And yeah, I'll pop up I do an in-depth preview to all of the big races, so it will be for those three doing throughout the course of the day. Don't have to visit the website either. I will send them out via the FRT Gold book page. Might even do them via email as well, although many of you will be on the main emailing list, which they get sent out to. And then tomorrow, as always, I do with these big festivals, get the official tips out, where of course there's likely to be some runners from York in there, but as well as that, I do always like to then just share my thoughts with you, not official tips, but my thoughts and my best for any races that we haven't covered at York. So I'll do that tomorrow. We've had some good success with that. We're doing it at the likes of Royal Ascot and Newmarket, Stuart Always Goodwood as well. That's been successful, so hopefully we can do something similar to that today or tomorrow. And yeah, really looking forward to that getting underway. There's nothing like a midweek festival, I don't think, when it gets started, because it's always an excellent watch. But yeah, thank you for watching today's video. That is just about it for today, I'm afraid. But tomorrow's video will again go through York and look at not only tomorrow's races, but also the racing for Thursday as well. Hope that you have an excellent day. Let's hope, although there will be excitement about York, the main thing we want today is for our tips to do the business. Let's hope that happens and that we can really build that betting bank ahead of the Ebor Festival tomorrow. But thanks for watching today, and I'll speak to you all a little bit later on. Bye-bye.